This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, good evening. This Suresh here.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, one and all.
Hi, Suresh.
Hi, Parul. Good evening. Just give me a moment, 1 second, please. So guys, in our session yesterday, we have been looking into the structure of EC and its dependency on the data models. So what are the important data models of this employee central structure, and the way we upload them into the customer's provisioning system, the order in which we upload them, and the significance of the succession data model specifically, how it looks like, what all we actually refer in regard to employee central, what all we refer in that succession data model XML. All this is what we have been looking at. So all these things I'll now anyways take you through, guys. Take you that thing one more time, guys, in detail, and then we'll further continue our discussion in regard to the corporate data model as well in our today's sessions. Okay, so let me first recap it. So EC structure, this is what we saw, where it's of two parts: the HR data and the foundation data. HR data is all about the human resource data, which we call as the employee data. And next is the foundation data, where it's all the organizational specific data that will be maintained in the system. In HR data, we have different categories that might be employee personal informations, or even the information of an employee specific to an employer, employment specific information. So both that categories of information is what that falls under the human resource data, which we simply can also call as employee data. So all this data of an employee of both the categories is basically split into multiple portlets. So address details, contact details, education details, salary details, personal details, like this. It has been divided into multiple portlets, and it has been arranged under multiple sections and subsections on the people profile here in the instance system. So sections, subsections, and finally portlets. Under the portlets is where you have all the list of fields in which the information has been finally posted in. So, and the layout of this people profile with respect to sections, subsections, all that is where we have been already looking under the configure people profile as a page, in which the complete layout alignment of this people profile we are able to see. And then, so even with respect to some examples of these objects under HR data, under employment and personal information, these are the list of some samples, examples that we have been looking at. So end of the day, all these examples are nothing but the different portlets. These are the different portlets of information that are present in the employee people profile. So few portlets are handling the personal information of the employees, and few are handling the employment information of the employees. End of the day, they are all spread across different sections and subsections in the people profile screen. And when it comes to the foundation data, we basically have these three structures, guys: organization structure, pay structure, and the job structures. So across these three structures, we have a lot of objects, which we call them as the foundation objects. So foundation objects is a very important terminology that we keep.
Sorry,
One
sorry
second.
to
Guys, everybody have to be.
Are you sharing this?
Which one are you seeing, guys? I'm sharing my PPT. I'm not even on pause. What are you currently seeing?
So we are not able to see your PPT. Yeah, we are seeing the login page. Actually, the Go.
Okay, 1 second. I'm muting everyone.
Only login page, sir.
Guys, please, I'm not able to hear anything if you are everybody unmuting. I've muted everyone. Mr. Jitendra Das, can you please unmute and tell me what are you able to see?
You can see the attendees, okay, the attendees blocks. That's it. We cannot see your presentation.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'll just stop the sharing and reshare, guys. Just give me a moment. Just confirm me once you're able to see the PPT, guys.
Now it's visible.
It's visible.
Yes, it's visible now.
Okay then. Somewhere might the go to meeting, guys. Sorry for that. Okay. So in the previous slide, yeah. So here it is all about the examples of the portlets, the different categories of information which we see under the personal information and the employment information category of the HR data. End of the day, all these examples what we see here are basically belonging to the employee profile. So on the employee profile, we see all these categories of information. They are basically aligned under multiple sections and subsections. Okay. And coming to the examples of this foundation data, so this is the three structures: org structure, pay structure, and the job structure, where across these three structures you have a lot of objects which are basically playing the role of the foundation blocks. So they are the foundation blocks in establishing the company structure digitally in Employee Central system. So digitally, to establish the organizational structures, payment structures and all in the form of different objects, these are actually helping us. So that might be the list of locations of the company, list of departments, list of group companies. If it's a multinational organization with multiple group companies, say like Coca-Cola India, Coca-Cola US, Coca-Cola Australia, if you have like that. So the way how we have multiple companies, that is nothing but the legal entity here. So everything being digitally created in the system, and we establishing a relationship between each and every layer and create that structure, organizational structure, the way we saw in our previous sessions, the Reliance organization structure as an example. So using all these objects is what we build the foundation structure, org structure, and payment structures in the company. And all these are basically part of the foundation data. The org, pay, and job structures are part of the foundation data. Okay, so this is about high level understanding about what does this EC structure basically consist of, the HR data and the foundation data part. And then as I mentioned, for this Employee Central module to be functioning, we will be having all these data models, guys. Just to cross check, I'm now showing the EC structure page with data models. Are you able to see this, the structure slide?
Yes, we are able to see it.
Okay, yes. Great then. Okay, so here these data models, what you see, succession, country specific succession, corporate, country specific corporate, are the four important data models that will play the backend role in the SuccessFactors Employee Central module, where not only Employee Central, every module of SuccessFactors will have some XML files in the background that keep functioning. So these are the four data models that belong to Employee Central exclusively. And these four data models, as I told you, are completely standard SuccessFactors pre-delivered lines of coding, where we download them from the important website of help.sap.com, as I shown you yesterday. In that help.sap.com, we'll be able to download it, all the standard 4 XML files that are readily available, and where that site help.sap.com would definitely require user credentials, guys. So with which credentials you log into the system should be a certified credentials. So the ID password with which you log in are what basically whenever you get certified, you get some SuccessFactors credentials as user ID credentials. So with that is only what you can log in, and you'll be authorized to download any documentations, XMLs, anything from this help.sap.com website. Okay, so here in this you have a category under implement. Under implementation as a category, you will have a subsection under the name of configuration files. Here the second one is Employee Central Master Data Models. So from here, it's a zipped folder of all the 4 XML files that can be downloaded. Once you download it, we can start uploading them into the customer's provisioning system. So as I shown you yesterday, we will be able to log into the provisioning system of the customer, and there we'll be able to upload them in a particular order. So I'm just logging into the provisioning in the background. Just give me a moment. I'll just share you once I log in. Okay. So this is the provisioning screen, guys, where once we log in, the first page of the provisioning looks like this, where we get into our company by clicking on the hyperlink of the company. And in this company specific provisioning page, once you enter, here we have to scroll down to an area where you find it in the name of succession management. So under this succession management, we'll be able to upload these data models one after the other, where the number 2, 3, 4, and 5, these are the 4 places that we are required to upload these data models. And the order in which we are required to upload them is, first we start with the corporate data model, then the country specific corporate, then comes the succession and the country specific succession data model. So each of them, when you go inside, it's just a place where you are required to select the file what you have downloaded from help.sap.com, select it here and click on submit. That will be loaded into the system on the day one of your Employee Central configurations. When you are starting, this is what any consultant would be doing it. In my system, we already have the data models loaded because this is a standard pre-configured system from SuccessFactors with all the built-in configurations. So it's all already present. So I need not upload it now, but this is a place where we are required to upload. Okay. And the way how these XML files look like is this one. As we already discussed yesterday, I've shared you guys all these XML files or the 4 data models, the link to download this software, the XML pad software. I even shared that. And so you guys can also install and access those XML files and start scrolling on it. You can navigate and explore it. You can get used to it. Basically, you're not supposed to do any tough things here in terms of coding. As I told you at the end of yesterday's session, we have a front-end screen for any screen or any modifications on this succession data model contents. So without touching the XML, you can handle it on the front end. Okay. But for the benefit, as it is important to have a knowledge on the EC XML files, the way how they are structured and all. So I'll just give you a recap of the things what we discussed yesterday, and then we'll move on. So this data model level, when it comes to succession data model, we have around 32,000 lines of code, guys. So this is the one that we saw yesterday, which is already having around 32,000 lines of code. And in this, you will have standard elements, background elements, and HRIS elements are the 3 things that will be relevant to us. Standard, background, and HRIS elements. And standard elements are these that are appearing in the initial part of the XML. So these are all the individual field definitions: user ID, username, first name, last name, gender, like this, all these basic mini master data fields, what we use in the basic import file to load the users and create the users in the system. So in that file, what are the fields that are coming up are basically seen in these initial list of standard elements. So for every field, you will have these important attributes like the field ID, the technical field ID, the required equal to true or false as one more attribute, required equal to true or false, which says the field is mandatory or non-mandatory, the length of the field, where length of the field is such an attribute where 99% you will never get any situation to change that length. Whatever standard SuccessFactors has pre-delivered, we will keep it as it is. We will never require we'll never come across a situation to increase it. So for the people of SAP HCM background, so in SAP HCM, we normally have a very rigid space. So 20 characters for first name, 20 characters for last name, 20 characters for middle name, like that, very limited space, where there will be instances where in SAP HCM we are required to modify the screen lengths, the field length. But in SuccessFactors, all the fields are well excessively spaced: 100 characters, 128 characters, 256 characters. So they are all well spaced. So we'll never get a requirement of making any field length changes actually. Okay. And one more attribute is label. When you expand, every field will have a label along with its translations in multiple languages. So this is all also the attributes we call. So in all the 43 languages, labels will be present in the standard data model. Either you are using that languages or you are not using that languages, it doesn't make any difference. You can have them all in the XML. So some people used to ask me, my customer is only using 5 languages. Are we required to delete the translations in the other languages present in the XML file? Not required. So standard XML will have all 43 languages. Whatever you activate, only that will appear to you on the front end. Whichever you don't activate, it will just stay in the XML. So you need not specifically delete them from anywhere in the system, which is standard already delivered. Okay, so that is the way. And then couple of other attributes, which is pi equal to true, which is for masking of the data, the national ID numbers, bank account numbers, these kinds of the personally identifiable information, sensitive information fields can be masked with the data instead of displaying the data. So that is one. And one more attribute what we saw is visibility attribute yesterday. So visibility will basically control whether the field has to be visible on the front end or not. First of all, if it is visible, should that be editable or non-editable? So this is a visibility attribute. So if it's none, field is not visible. If it's view, field will be visible but read-only mode. If it's visibility equal to both, it's visible and even editable. All these attributes, I even made a list, guys. You need not worry. I made an Excel sheet. I guess in the yesterday's emails that I've sent you in the name of EC Foundations, there is a email in the name of EC Foundations that you guys received yesterday. In that, along with this EC structure PDF, you also have one more Excel file called EC worksheet. So that is in that EC worksheet, you will find this kind of a sheet. This is the one in which the attributes what we regularly use are even highlighted. Though these are the around 6 to 7 important attributes what we normally make any changes in the XML's level. So required attribute, visibility attribute, for that what are the possible values, the maximum length as an attribute, pi equal to true or false, that masking of data like this that displays the data, the label field. So these are all what we have been looking at currently. Going further in the sessions, we'll see one more as pick list. Pick list ID is one more thing that we'll be discussing going down the line. So then I'll come back to on it. It will almost take 1 more week of sessions to discuss this pick list ID concept. So as of now, these 5 are important. Okay, I even well maintained them in this Excel sheet. You can refer them. So after this standard elements, the next elements are the background elements, guys. So these are all the background elements list, where background elements and HRIS elements are 2 other set of elements that we find in this XML, which are basically referring to the portlets. On the people profile, each and every portlet in which you are able to maintain the data, all these portlet definitions, all these portlet screen definitions are basically coming from the succession data model XML file. Each and every field what you see on the people profile in any portlet is all basically coming from the succession data model XML coding. From the 32,000 lines of coding, all these fields are defined actually. Okay, so these fields, all these fields, when they are coming from the succession data model, so few portlets are defined in the name of background elements and few more portlets in the name of HRIS elements. Okay, so every portlet related, if you expand, the portlet label and its translations in all the different 43 languages. Once the portlet label is done, the fields of each and every field of that portlet, for each and every field also attributes, and when you expand the field label along with its translation in multiple languages, these are all what we have. Okay, so it's very easy to navigate. Find the portlet. First, when you expand, it will show you the portlet label along with its translations. Once the translations are done, it will show you the fields of the portlet. Every field also will have that 43 translations along with the rest of the attributes like length of the field, visibility of the field, required equal to true or false, all that. Whereas the same structure we'll also see for HRIS elements as well. The same structure will be also seen for these HRIS portlets, where HRIS portlets are also having a similar structure. First, when you expand a portlet, you will find the fields, you'll find the label of the portlet along with the translation of it in multiple languages. Then the fields of the portlet, one by one, you will find the fields. Okay, it's all the same. But behavioral perspective, as I told you yesterday, any background element portlet will be of a behavior where all records are active, guys. Either you have two fields in that, either you have two records in that portlet, or you have 20 records in that portlet. All records are parallelly active. I have 5 certifications. All 5 are active. All 5 will be shown on the screen. I have 4 educational documents, 4 educational records, like my schooling, my +1, +2, my graduation, post-graduation, 4 records. All 4 will be shown on the screen. All are active. So that is the nature of the background elements. Whereas HRIS elements level also, we have few portlets which will be in the similar nature, same like background elements. But there are few more portlets exclusively under HRIS category which will have a nature of storing multiple records, but only latest record is active. The latest record is active is a nature where we see under HRIS elements. If there is a question that I have a portlet which is having multiple records but only latest record is active, then what category it is? It's only HRIS. You can't expect that portlet to be under background category. Okay, but all records being active with multiple records in the portlet, that can be both either HRIS or background portlet. It can be anything. That way you have 2 sets of portlets which will end of the day cover all the portlets whatever you are seeing on the front end in the people profile, guys. Okay, so there will be no specific question saying that which portlet is this HRIS or is this background and all. Nobody will ask you in either in the certification or in the interviews anywhere. But obviously down the line, when you are accessing the system regularly, be in touch with the system, working on these portlets, you will automatically get to know which are HRIS and which are background. It's all down the line in the experience. Okay, so these are all the portlets what we see in the succession data model. So that way succession data model is directly having its relevance with the first 50% of its HR structure. So the first 50% of the HR structure, which is all about the employee data and all. So for that, all the data where it is being stored is on the people profile, and on the people profile portlet fields are coming from succession data model. That way it is directly dependent on this XML. And whatever attributes and all we are seeing here in this XML, these standard elements, background elements, HRIS elements, their attributes, everything, as I shown you in the end of yesterday's session, it's all here in the front end in the name of business configuration. Business configuration. So those people who are comfortable in handling the XML, they can still do it, guys. So my friends and colleagues who have joined SuccessFactors since 2013-14 initial days, we guys are already still using XML in some places because we are already used with it. It's easy for us, so we even use that. Okay, but there are also a set of people in the market who would never touch XML because we already got a front end upgrade. Why should we make the things complicated? So that also there's a way. There is no such restriction that you should work only in this place. Both are open. Wherever you want to work on, you can. Here on the front end, you make any changes, that will update the XML in the background. You make any change in the XML and upload the XML, that will automatically refresh here on the front end. So these two places, the data model XML and the front end manage business configuration screen, all these are, both these are bidirectional synchronized. A change made in one place will automatically be updated on the other place in few fraction of seconds. So it's all bidirectional synchronized, guys. Okay, so this is the business configuration where you have HRIS elements category of all the portlets here, and when you collapse this under HR, under employee profile, background element category of portlets, standard elements, everything are present. When you expand, you will find all that. So any portlet you go for, you will have the portlet label, and when you click on this icon, you will see the translation of that labels in multiple languages. Okay, and at the bottom you will have the fields of that portlet. With every field also you will have the label of its portlet, label of that field in multiple translations along with the default label. and whether that field should be present on the front end or not, is enabled yes or no, should that be mandatory or not, yes or no. And if you go under the details, you'll have few more attributes like this: visibility, should that be editable or viewable? You said it should be enabled, so it is appearing on the front end, but it should be only view mode or even editable mode. You have one more. Masking, that pi equal to true or false, you have this yes or no here. The length of the field, if you want to make any changes, where 99% we never get any requirement of that. So like this, multiple attributes are present here. Okay, if you want to delete away the field or add one more custom field, you have the options here. You just add a custom field, some custom field, and give the label of it, enable that properties. One more field placeholder is readily added automatically. So like this, system will give you an option to add up to 70 custom fields in every portlet, guys. Email ID portlet, 70 fields. Phone numbers portlet, 70 fields. Address details portlet, separate 70 fields. Like that, you will have every portlet level up to 70 custom fields. So which will definitely be more than enough. We will never face a situation that is insufficient kind of. Okay, so this is all we have completely that can be doable on the front end. Okay, so first I'm only introducing you guys with all these things. Of course, going further down the line, I'll even take a session where we can add a field and see it on the front end how it appears. Okay, we can even customize it and also see it. But first of all, I am going to first concentrate on introducing you with what is already standard available first of all. Okay, so this is all what we basically discussed in our sessions in the last 2-3 days. Structure, its data models, its XML file, front end, background, all that. So any questions still here from anyone?
I have a question.
Yeah, Poonam, please.
I go in and make any changes into the fields through business configuration UI. And let's say another incumbent comes in and he wants to make those changes through an XML. So I mean, if I am making these changes through configuration UI, these will be
okay, I got your question. So the point is, in a project, succession data model ownership will be with a particular person. That is how the projects will be executed. Employee Central is the main consultant who will handle this data model. Okay, even in Employee Central, if there are one or two consultants working in the same project, for say senior EC consultant, junior EC consultant, if 2 people are working also, one person will have this ownership. Okay, so that is how we execute in a decent way. And even SF recommends, whenever you are working on XML files type, maintain a backup version. Now if you are required to make any changes, whatever XML is already on your desktop downloaded 1 week back, 10 days back, you already have a version of XML downloaded on your laptop, don't use that file. Now download the latest one, go to the provisioning, as at this point export the latest one as at this point what is in the system, and upload that and download that. In that you make the change and upload it back into the system if you want to work through XML. Because 10 days back whatever you downloaded and you kept in your laptop, so in the 10 days other consultants might have done any changes on the front end. Now if you upload the 10 days back old one, every change will be overridden. Okay, so that's why every time the latest one has to be at that point of time downloaded, make the change and immediately upload back, or else make it only on the front end or only in the XML. One person will be taking the responsibility. Got it? Hope that answers your question, Poonam. Okay. Yeah, anybody else?
I have questions, Suresh.
Yeah.
So, Suresh, is it like possible that there are fields which are available in the XML, whether it is standard or HRIS or the background element fields? They're available in XML, but they're not available here. Is that possible too?
No, not at all. How can it be? It's just a replica of front end. It's as it is, 100% as it is. You will not have such kind of a thing. Okay, it will be available in both the places. It's a replica. Okay.
Okay, and there's no functionality that has to be done by XML and which cannot be done from this managed business configuration.
Which one?
Like anything that is available in XML, supposing, there's some particular functionality that you can change only in XML, not over here. There's nothing like that, right? Everything can be done in both the places.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
For succession data model, that's definitely there. It is equal in both the places. Either whatever you can do here can also be done there, kind of both the places. There are other XML files and other data and other modules that comes up, where few things can be done only in the front end, few things can be done only in the XML, kind of. We had it. Example, PMGM is a module that we'll see, where there are limited things in the XML, limited things on the front end, kind of. But succession data model here, to this point of discussion, it's both equal in front end and even background, XML or front end, it's all same.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so now, or at this point, now we are required to also start understanding what does a corporate data model XML mean, guys. So in that regard, basically succession data model XML is what we thought on the front end, where we are able to maintain the employee data. That's the people profile. In this people profile, all the portlet fields, the screen fields are coming from succession data model. That means the employee data storing screens related definitions are coming from succession data model XML. That's clear. Similarly, for corporate data model is relevant to this foundation data. Now for maintaining this foundation data, that is maintaining foundation data means employee data means employee email IDs, phone numbers, dependent details, education details, certifications. We saw that portlets. Foundation data means these are the things. Employee, the company's business units, companies, legal entities, departments, locations, all these various things. Okay, so now if I want to maintain the company locations, this company is having their locations in 10 different places. They have it in Bangalore, they have it in Mumbai, they have it in Paris, they have in Sydney. So different countries, different locations they have. All that work locations are to be listed in the system first. So for that creation of locations also, I need a screen. The way for employee data maintenance, I have a screen. For company foundation data creation also, I need a screen. So for example, to start with a location creation, here on the front end, I can open a place called as the place where we can maintain this org structure, pay structure, and job structure, 3 structure related objects, all that foundation objects. The place is manage org job pay structures or pay job structures. This is the one. So when you go to this place, this is a place where you will be able to create that new locations. Okay, new pay components, pay ranges, pay grades, whatever you are seeing in this file, all these things can be created here. Where on the right hand side of the page, here you have this create new. You click on drop down, the various foundation object names are coming. Among the third one, location is there. So a location is not just a label. Okay, Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, it's just not a label. A location means you have a lot of fields that you are required to define. That is the effective start date, effective date. From which date is this location part of your business? So example, my business started in 2005. In 2005, my headquartered office is in Mumbai. After 2 years, I opened a branch office in Pune. After 4 more years, in 2012 sometime, I opened it in Bangalore. So like that, every location will have a start date. So that is the date we are required to record. For every location where we can give some code of it, a unique code identifier. Like the way every employee will have an employee number, every location, every department, everything should have a code in the system defined. That is a code which can be alphabetic, alphanumeric, or only numeric, anything that you can give. And here is the text, the name of the location, some description about that location if you want to write a free text. The status, currently is this location active, or you're no more operating business in this location, means at that point of time we'll mark it as inactive. A new location can be created as active, and the time zone of the location, the weekly working hours in that location, average employees work for how many hours in that location. Like this, we have different fields on the screen that will be filling, guys. Filling all these screen fields data, we can have a new location created in the system. So in that regard, we already have. On the left hand side, the right hand side here, you are able to go for create new and create a new location. But here on the left hand side, you will find the same list. You select location here. In this system, which are already created locations will be shown. These are the already pre-delivered sample list of different locations that are present in the system. Where in a customer system, there will be nothing guys. In a customer system, there will be zero. There will be no standard success factors pre-delivered list of departments, locations, anything. Customer specific, we are required to create. This being a practice demo system, which is all pre-configured with lot of test data, a lot of standard configurations and all, you are able to see this list. When you're working on a new customer project, this side, left hand side, this list will be empty completely. It says no data, blank. You are required to start creating all the locations one by one. Either that company has offices in 3 locations or 10 or 20 or 30, one by one, every location has to be created. So this is how this company in this system, they have given Atlanta as one location, where they have given the start date of the location, some code, name, description, status, location group as North America. So we can group our locations. For example, in India, we can create a group called South India as one location group, North India as one location group. So you can keep all the South locations in South India group, like Bangalore, Trivandrum, Chennai, Hyderabad, all this in one group. So like that, you can have some grouping of the locations that can be made, and the weekly hours, and what kind of a geographical zone that the location belongs to. Is that a metro location or a non-metro location, or an urban location or a suburban location? Like even based on climatic conditions, like tropical zone climate or whatever, you can have different kinds of locations, the different kinds of zones, geographical zones that can be defined, and you can tag it. So this much of information, along with the complete registered address of your business. So in one location, either you say there is a corporate office, or it's a go down, that's we call it as a warehouse, or it's you have companies, a factory, industry, whatever is being operated in that location, that particular registered address is what we are required to capture here. This way, a location means these many fields, like around 10 fields, 10 to 15 fields of inputs are to be defined in the system. So if I am having 10 locations, for all the 10 locations, all these details are to be in detail given here. Of course, all this data will be given by customer. We just have to maintain it in the system, either one by one manually, or we can even bulk upload also. Down the line, how to bulk upload also, we'll see in our sessions. So this is how a location screen looks like. Okay, so for employee data maintenance, the way we have a people profile. For foundation data, that is all the foundation objects maintenance. For all these objects, you have this manage, organization, pay, job structures as a screen, where here on the right hand side, you can go for create new location, or if I want to create a pay grade in the company. So pay grade is like around 3-4 fields here. These are the fields: the pay grade ID, pay grade name, description. Like this, we have some other fields. So like that, for every foundation object, we have some screen fields. We are required to fill the data inputs into it. So where are all these screen field definitions coming from? So location, pay grade, pay range, anything. These screen fields, where are all these fields defined? Is nothing but the corporate data model. The way employee data screens fields are coming from succession data model XML, the foundation data related screen fields are coming from the corporate data model XML file, guys. So now if I open this corporate data model, here we have it. So this is the corporate data model XML, which is even here. This is 34,000 lines of code, which is all collapsed now. If I expand it, you will see the entire coding. The first line is corporate-data-model, in which you have all these foundation objects defined: locations, location groups, pay ranges, pay grades, pay components. All these are the different foundation objects that are present. So location as an object, if you expand the foundation object, you will have the location object label, and its translations used to be here. I removed it. Okay, same like portlet level, how you have when you expand, you have the portlet label and its translation. Similarly here, you have the location object label along with its translation in 40 languages used to be here. And then when we collapse next, after the translations, you'll have the fields. On the front end, what all fields you are able to see. everything, all that fields are here. The code of the location, name of the location, description, start date of the location, the time zone, all these fields are present here. Same fields what you are seeing here on the front end, all these fields are defined here, one after the other. So first, when you expand, you will have the initial label of that object along with its translation. So here I deleted, but if I want, I can show you on location group. Location group is also one more foundation object. When you expand, the label and its translation. So here you have create new location group also. Location is the third one. Before that, you have location group. When you click on location group, what fields you see? These 4 fields will be here under location group. We expand the first the label and its translation. Then after the translation, the location group level, what all fields you see, that 4 or 5 fields, they will appear here like this. So that is how, almost same like the way how the portlet level definitions are there. When you expand a portlet, you have the label of the portlet and its translations, then each and every field with their translations. Similar way here, these objects also. The location is an object, expand it, you'll have the label along with its translations, then the fields. Every field has its properties, same like the field ID, length of the field, visibility, required equal to true or false, all these attributes. If you expand, every field level, you have the label along with its 43 translations for every field. Same way they are defined. Okay. So now if a customer has a requirement to make any changes on this location group, he's asking me to change this name as location group name, make this description field as mandatory. Okay, same like on the location screen also, if they are having any expectations on changes, so make this description as mandatory, remove this time zone field from the screen completely, or add one more custom field, anything we are required to go to this XML. Here on these properties, we are required to make the changes and upload that XML back into the system and experience the changes. But for succession data model, the way you have the front end screen called manage business configuration. So whatever changes that are required on the employee data portlets, you can do it here on the front end itself, I told you, without touching XML. But for corporate data model, you have no choice. Corporate data model is not having a front end version. Tomorrow, if your customer is asking you to make any changes on these foundation object data creation screens, the only option is go and update on the XML. If they're asking you to make a field mandatory, non-mandatory, visibility related any changes, field label related changes, anything they are expecting, here itself on the corporate data model XML, we are required to make that tweaking of the attributes, and that latest updated XML is what we are required to upload in the provisioning. Okay, but corporate data model level, the changes, the necessity of any changes will be very, very rare cases, guys. Okay, so because this location creation screen, location group creation screen, department, all these screens are not that they use keep on regularly using. Okay, these are something at the stage of configuration, we as a consultants will work on these screens. After the go live, customers will almost never open these screens until and unless there is a new location expanding in the company, and the company has to now record that in all their HR systems, or a new department coming in, they have to record that system in that system. Only then they will be accessing this. Okay, apart from that, there will be no necessity of changing these master datas, and they will never access these screens. So they will never have any inputs on these screens. They will not have any requirements on these screens, and we will never have any requirements of making any changes. So that's why in the process of eliminating the XML and bringing the things onto the front end, SF has first concentrated on succession data model and given as a front end screen, but corporate data model, because the usage of itself is very less, they did not even concentrate on that yet. Okay, so but down the line in the roadmap, either in 2 years or 3 years down the line, we can expect even corporate data model can get a front end screen. That might be the case. So that is the way how you have all these foundation object related screens, that is through manage or job pay structure, what all objects you see, these screen field definitions are coming from the corporate data model. In this, you can ask me for existing fields any changes, we can make the just make the field attribute changes. But if a customer is asking me to add a custom field here, one more, then should I do the coding in the XML? Even that SF has given us the predefined thing. Custom fields, the way how you can add 70 custom fields in every portlet, even in foundation objects also we can add up to 70 custom fields, guys. And all that fields are pre-coded. The coding of all that is already given. Custom string 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything. And they have kept the visibility of that fields to none. They already given that 70 custom fields definitions also. So now if you want to enable a field, expand it. So here the label will be, let me just leave this. You see this, the label, the label field will be like this: custom string 4, custom string 3, custom string 2, custom string 1, like that. So different fields will be there. For every field, the visibility will be kept to none initially. Whenever you want a custom field, whatever the label you want, give that label and change the visibility of that field from none to both. So that now this field will start appearing on the front end with the label whatever now you are giving here, whatever you update here, with that label it will appear on the front end. So that way SF has not even given us a situation where we will be required to do a new coding. So even custom fields, I keep it really kept coding for you. You just enable it. It's in kept as invisible. You make it enable with whatever label you want that field with. With that label, it will start appearing on the front end. So that way the corporate data model has been structured.
Suresh, question. It will only change English name. Not is going to be, it won't change the translations, correct?
Sorry, I not get it again.
So when you change to the custom XML, okay. So if I have to change, including the translated versions, is it required, or I can only change English?
No, definitely. Say example, you are using the system in apart from English, if you are using the system in Arabic, Chinese and all. So here wherever is Arabic coding, this is showing as customizable 3. In Arabic translation it is showing. You are required to ask the customer. Now if you are giving this field as say example, just example, if the field is called blood group. Of course in foundation data we don't get this blood group, but simple, just I am expecting. If blood group is the field that you are giving here, the Arabic translation of that blood group as a field required to give us. We are required to maintain here. System will automatically doesn't translate.
Yeah,
okay?
that's my question.
Yeah, exactly.
Suresh, I have a question, Rupa here.
Please, Rupa, go ahead. Go ahead, Rupa.
Yeah. Earlier we saw there was elements like HRIS element, background element, standard element. But when we
that
create
is in succession data model, that is in succession data model only. In corporate, it's HRIS. Anything is only HRIS. That's it.
Okay, only and it is HRIS field I just saw, not HRIS element. I just saw field in custom.
In element, you will have fields. That's it. Any field in this portlets will be HRA. In these objects will be HRIS fields. They say element is HRIS element. Fields. Even in succession data model also it's the same.
Same.
So you
okay. I missed it then. Yeah.
You have fields. Yeah. I'll just confirm it. So in the fields, when you expand, so the portlet, phone information portlet, in that you have the fields, HRIS fields. Okay.
Yeah, clear. Thank you.
In succession data model, you guys will have that 3 different sets, guys: standard, background, HRIS and all. But in corporate data model, it's only HRIS. But calling it as HRIS element, it doesn't mean it is a portlet. Objects in corporate data model are referred as HRIS elements. Just for that technical coding perspective, they use these elements. That's it. Okay, it's only one element you will find under corporate, which is only HRIS. You will not find the background, the standard, all that here. Okay, that is this. So this is how the corporate data model is acting as a backbone for the foundation data setup screens. So the manage organization pay job structure is the front end place where you can set up this foundation objects like locations, pay ranges, pay grades, all that. And for these screens, the backend is coming from the corporate data model, and it doesn't have any front end version. It's only on the XML part. Any changes to be done on the XML only we are required to work. and upload that back into the system. That is simple. Where 99% you will never get any requirement to make any changes on corporate data model, guys. I can give it 100% assurance. I have done 8 implementations. Only in one project, someplace I made a small change, but 99% nobody will get any requirement in that. Okay. Next. Now in this screen, few objects you are seeing in orange, few in blue. Why is that? What is the difference? Is that in 2012 when Employee Central has started, guys, all that foundation objects what you are seeing on that slide are completely defined in the corporate data model. In 2012 when Employee Central started, every foundation object is defined through this corporate data model XML. So now which is the coding that is present around 34,000 lines of code, I guess. Yeah, 34,000 lines of code now. It used to be almost up to 80,000 lines of code initially. Okay, so in the process of reducing the dependency in XML and to bring the things onto the front end, in 2015, late 2015, like in November 2015, there is a concept called metadata framework that has been introduced. This is the one, metadata framework. So this is a platform that will reduce the dependency on XML and bring the things onto the front end. In that process, not the complete corporate data model has been brought to the front end. Partially it has been brought. Almost I have to say 75% or 80% of the corporate data model today has been brought to the front end actually. So that is why the 80,000 lines of code has reduced it to 32,000 lines of code. And in that remaining 40,000 additional lines which used to be previously in XML, which are now not present, what happened to that additional lines of coding is, so all these objects are actually supposed to be in the XML initially. The way how location object screen fields you are seeing on the XML, the pay range, pay grade, all these object screen fields you are seeing in the provisioning. These blue colored objects related screen fields you will not find in the XML. Now legal entity, business unit, division, department, all that you can't find here in the corporate data model. I'll just collapse this. Just a moment. Here. So these are the only objects that we see today defined in the corporate data model. So if you see here, if you clearly study here, legal entity, business unit, division, department, cost center, all that blue colored objects, none of them are present here. The reason is they are removed from this place and they are now defined in the front end place, a front end separate place called, the screen fields are also on the instance. So like the way business configuration you have a front end place, there is for this objects, foundation objects, you have a front end place called as object definition. Configure the object definitions, foundation objects definitions, you are configuring it. So configure object definitions is a place. So this is a place where, so now if I want to find the object definition of any of the blue colored objects, say department, say this department is one of the foundation object. If this field or if this object related definition, if I have to find, I can search for the object as department. So here in this department, if you scroll down, here are the fields. The department related fields are listed here, all these fields. So whenever we create a new department, what all fields we see on the screen, they are coming from here. The way when I am creating a location, on the location screen, what all fields I see, the way they are coming from the corporate data model XML. Now this blue colored MDF foundation objects, these blue colored foundation objects are having their screen fields coming from this configure object definition, an action called configure object definition. Here itself on the front end you have that department, location, department, business unit, division, all that objects. Any object you select, under field section, all these are the fields that you are seeing. So all these fields what you see, these are what that appear on the front end. So that way, so it's a complete it's a complete replacement from the corporate data model. They are completely removed. That lines of code has been totally removed, and they have given a front end place. So 80,000 lines have become 32. Down the line, this 32,000 lines also might be completely removed from here, and everything might be on the front end only. And they say one point of time after down the line, 1 year, 2 years, they might say corporate data model is no more applicable. Where in 2012, Employee Center has 7 XML files. Now it came down to 4, reducing 3. Down the line, among these 4 also, 2 are expected to reduce. So corporate and country specific corporate are also expected to reduce slowly down the line. So that way, everything is brought front end. But when you compare with the business configuration of succession data model, guys, this is not MDF. I want to particularly highlight this. Manage business configuration screen of succession data model is not a MDF tool. It's a front end tool where you can see whatever you have in the data model on the front end. But here, the things what are in the XML, they are also in the front end. So both the places they are existing. But corporate data model now, when you compare with corporate data model and MDF, that coding which is present in that XML previously has been reduced and it has been brought to the front end. Okay, that means it's being completely taken out of it and placed here. That is MDF. This is not MDF. This is just a front end tool. Whatever you can do in XML, here also on the front end you can do is what they have given. But this lines of coding is not removed in the succession data model. It is still existing. But for corporate case, it's not that way. 80,000 lines have been reduced to 32. That other lines of coding, what used to be in corporate data model, is now appearing on the front end in the name of configure object definition. This is MDF. Completely removing the dependency on XML file is MDF. Succession data model level front end screen called business configuration is not an MDF. It's not a complete replacement. You have both the options wherever you want to use is what they are saying. But succession data model level, all 32,000 lines of code are still existing. That is the way. So this is the blue colored MDF of the blue colored foundation objects. What you see, they are available under the screen definitions of them are, instead of corporate data model, defined here under configure object definitions. And the way the places of definitions are in 2 separate places. For these orange colored objects and blue colored objects, the screen definitions are for orange colored objects, they are coming from corporate data model XML, and for these blue colored things, they are coming from the configure object definition screen. So not only the screen definition places, the data creation places are also different. So the way you created location and even pay ranges, pay grades and all, the way how you are able to create here under manage org job pay structures, this manage org job pay structures, you are able to create these locations, pay ranges, pay grades, all this. But when it comes to the blue colored objects like divisions, departments, cost centers and all to be created, you can't create from this place. You are required to go to a different place called manage data. Initially, even before 2015, everything used to be created here only. But MDF platform, once that MDF platform has come, there is a different screen given in the name of manage data. If you go for this manage data, here MDF based objects only can be created. So here on the right hand side, same like the manage org job pay structure, right hand side you'll have a place for creating the things. Left hand side, existing things can be seen. Similarly, manage data also works in the same way. On the right hand side, you search for department, create new department. Whenever I create a department, what all screen fields will be there? These are all the fields that are coming up. If I have to search for the existing departments, on the left hand side, search for department. Here you get the list of all the standard success factors pre-delivered departments in this system. These are all the various existing list of departments. Select any of the department that is already defined in the system, the start date of the department, code of the department, name of the department, who is the head of the department. Like this, you have some screen fields. So where are these screen
Suresh,
fields?
I have a doubt. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused little.
Of course.
You said in configure object definition also we can create department, right?
You are able to create a department object definition. Department is created here under manage data. On the department, the screen fields. Where are these screen fields defined? On the department screen, these 7 fields should be there. Where did you define? I want to add one more field. Where do you define? I want to relabel this field. Where do you do that? Is configure object definition.
Okay, so screen field is defined in manage data, right?
Manage data level, data is created. List of departments are created here. Sales department, finance department, HR department, that entries are what you are creating here. Data. Okay. For this data, the screen what you are seeing, where are this defined is configure object definition. Of course, this extent of confusion is definitely expected, guys. No, do not worry. It's all just a matter of time. I'll repeat it multiple times. Tomorrow also we'll spend time on it. Do not worry. Let me complete. I'll keep everything in one single place. Just don't disturb me for 5 minutes. I'll answer your questions.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Thank you. Yeah.
So the way, that's why I'm comparing every time with employee data, guys. For recording employee data on the form of different portlets on the front end, here you're loading the employee data, creating, saving the employee data. All these screen fields, where are they coming? Succession data model XML. The similar way, when I am required to define a location, I want to create a location called Chennai, Mumbai, Mangalore, whatever I want to create the locations. While location defining, these many fields I'm required to fill in. Where are these screen fields coming from? Is corporate data model XML. And the other objects which came out of corporate data model XML are these blue colored objects, say department, divisions, and all. So where do I create them is manage data. So if I have to create a new department, okay, or a new division, new business unit, anything, I am required to go for create new department. I get the screen fields. Here I enter the department code, department name, all that. They're non-editable now. I can set that. So here, similarly, division, if I have to create new division. So these are the screen fields. I'll fill in. So here tomorrow, if I have to add one more field, or if I have to relabel this field, where are all that properties can be handled? Is in this configure object definition. In this configure object definition, you search for the object definition of division. So on the division screen here, in the division creation screen, what all around 10 fields that you are seeing here, these are all the fields that are coming from the object definition page of this division, where here at the bottom you have that fields defined. These are the fields that are appearing here on the front end. Okay, so that way you have a place where to create the data, list of divisions in the company, list of departments in the company, list of locations in the company. You need a screen to create that data. Where is that screen defined? First of all, so in this field, these 10 fields should be there, or along with these 2 more additional fields should be there, or this field should be removed from this screen. That changes if their customer is coming up with where should you handle is nothing but this configure object definition for those blue colored objects, for orange colored objects which are created through this manage org job pay structures. For these, the screen definitions are coming from corporate data model. So that way, foundation data level, the objects are divided into 2 types: normal foundation objects and MDF foundation objects, we call, which are all on the MDF platform. These are all dependent on the MDF platform, blue colored things that are handled on the front end in the configure object definition page. So these are called MDF foundation. End of the day, everything is a foundation object, but which are still dependent on the corporate data model XML, we call them as simply foundation objects. And these are MDF foundation objects is what we add one more tag in front of it, a prefix MDF foundation objects. So that screen definitions where they are defined and the data creation, the places where do we create the data for these objects, both are different. So all of that is already clearly given in this Excel sheet what I shared you guys yesterday itself. So here if you see on the left hand side, first of all, EC structure is divided into 2 parts: HR data, foundation data. Under HR data you have 2 kinds of objects: personal information and employment information, where examples of personal details is address details, national IDs, contact details, all this. All these are portlets. Even employment objects, it's compensation details of employee, job details of employee, position details of employee, which is all details of the employee in this company. That is employment objects examples. When it comes to foundation data, we have two different, we basically have three structures under foundation data. We have three structures: org, job, and pay structure. In these three structures, what objects we have are all these foundation objects, which are fewer normal foundation, other are MDF foundation. Both are listed here in this Excel sheet. Normal foundation objects and MDF foundation objects. MDF, FOS means foundation objects. So which are coming from the corporate data model are foundation. Those are these examples: location, location groups, pay components, pay component groups. These are the MDF foundation are blue colored objects: legal entity, business unit, division, department. All these are listed here. What is generic? We'll slowly get to know that. As of now, this is what you are required to know. Normal foundation, few examples. MDF foundation, few examples. That is with respect to examples. When it comes to screens and the navigations, where do we go? For employee data, that is HR data, either you say personal information or employee information. Both of that are created on the people profile only. So few portlets are employee data storing portlets, few portlets are personal data storing portlets. End of the day, all the data maintenance, employee data maintenance is happening on the employee profile in the form of different portlets. For all that portlets, where are the screen definitions coming from? Succession data model. Definitions is succession data model, and of course country specific succession data model also, which we'll see in our tomorrow's session. The succession data model is taking care of both employee personal data portlets or employment data portlets. All definitions are coming from here. For this, the front end screen is manage business configuration. This is also I mentioned here. So till here it is about employee data, where the data maintenance happening, where are the screen fields are coming for that. Similarly for foundation data, foundation objects and MDF foundation objects. The foundation objects examples are locations, location groups, all these what we saw on the top. So where am I going to create a location in the system? I shown you this screen: manage org, job, pay structures. Manage org, job, pay structures is a place where a location can be created. So on the locations creation screen, these are all the fields. If I have to create a new location called Bangalore is one of my work location, one of my company's location, Kolkata is one location, Paris is one location. If I have to create that locations, these are all the screen fields I have to define for a location. So where are these screen fields coming from? It's nothing but the corporate data model, and of course country specific corporate also, which we'll see tomorrow. So the data maintenance is here. Screen definition is here. Here in the screen, if you want me to add one more field, or if I have to remove one field or relabel this field, make this into a non-mandatory, any changes on this screen, I have to go back to the corporate data model and I have to do it there. Similarly, for MDF foundation objects, which are the blue colored objects, these fields like department, division, anything, if I have to create 10 departments, sales department, finance department, HR department, like that company's departments data, if I have to create, I'll go for manage data. Manage data is the place. This is the one where I can create divisions, departments, anything. This is how the screens will come. Where are these screen fields being defined? That is the object definition. Front end configure object definition, where for the division object at the bottom I get the fields what I see on that. So that is this configure object definition is the place where the screen fields are defined. Data maintenance is done in manage data. Screen fields are coming from configure object definition. So that way everything has been all consolidated and given in one single sheet, guys. You'll not find it in any SAP documentations anywhere in the internet. This is a consolidated sheet prepared in our batches here. So this has been mailed to you guys. One solid recommendation I give to everybody is take a printout of it wherever you are sitting in your home or office working. Just paste a printout of it in front of you for at least 10 days. This is where you are required to get to use with the location. Where should I navigate for which object? What is the configure object definition? What is manage data? For data creation, where I go? For field definition, where I go? Everything is consolidated present here. Of course, this is a confusing thing at the early stage, definitely, but it should not take more than 2 days for anybody. Okay. So this is where everything, the employee data related screens, foundation data related screens and their screen definition locations, everything is kept under one single page. Okay. Yeah, any questions now, please? Are all the answers, all the questions answered in this speech, long speech?
Suresh, it will take some time to synthesize
Of
everything. So I'm trying to.
Of course, definitely. Guys, one second. I see somebody join in the name of Z. Your name as Z. Who is this? Letter Z. Hello. I see your device is also unmuted. Z has left. Okay, anyways. The others, please, any questions, anyone? Okay, so this complete thing is already in your inboxes, guys. So open this, open the instance system, keep keep this PDF open. This EC structure is in the slide number 6, and in the same slide in page number 12 you have the examples of foundation data. In page number 13 you have the examples of the foundation objects. All these in one PDF only, page number 6, 12, 13 you have them. Keep this Excel sheet also in front of you, okay, and the instance in the other place. Just do alt tab between these three screens and get used to it. Question yourself, if I have to hire an employee, which screen I do? If I have required to maintain an employee data, where I maintain? It's employee profile. In employee profile, there are portlets. Where are these portlets coming from? Succession data model. Succession data model without touching XML, on the front end where I can do business configuration like that. Similarly, foundation objects. So foundation objects, if I have to create a location, what kind of a foundation object is location? It's a normal foundation object coming from corporate data model because it is still orange color. So for this, where should I go and create the data? It is manage org job pay structure. In this screen, if my customer is asking any change of screen fields, where is the screen definition can be found? It is in the corporate data model XML. Corporate data model XML, because it is a normal foundation object, that is orange colored one. It's obviously the corporate data model XML. Like that. It's all. Just it doesn't take more than 2 weeks, 2 days hardly, guys. It's coming up. It's also a weekend. Do not worry. Tomorrow also I'll take a brief recap on almost 30 to 45 minutes. I'll discuss the same things again, and then only we'll discuss even something on country specific succession data models also tomorrow. And weekend is the best time. You guys can completely revise this, get used to this terminologies, navigations and all, such that going further from Monday when we start the actual configurations of EC, like the EC core organizational structure of a company to be configured, any custom portlets to be configured, workflows, calculations, validations, business rules, lot of things what we'll be working on down the line. Once you are clean with this navigations, terminologies and all, that makes it very easy for the further topics. Okay, that's all from my end now. Any other queries?
Suresh, I have a question
Thank
about
you,
managed
Suresh.
data.
Yeah, Parul, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a question about managed data. I'm not sure if you're going to cover it later or not. So the thing
No
is that in managed data, if you have, supposing you're supposed to create a location, okay? So you have an existing location that is already created. Is there an option to like copy it and create, or you have to create a new one afresh? How does it work?
Okay. So first thing, location is not in the managed data, it is in the manage org job pay structure. Okay, and now
Oh, yeah, right. So yeah.
And every data item is unique. So once I create a location, any locations, say Atlanta, some locations are there. Any location, it's a one-time entry. I don't get an option to copy it. They only have option to make corrections on this anything or completely delete it. They don't give us an option to copy this. Okay.
Okay, and it's the same for departments in managed data and everything.
Of course, same way. So there are 10 departments, 10 times you are required to go to this, create new location, create new department, anything, and create one by one. Or else down the line, we'll also see the import options, bulk import. So once I create a location, any location, it's a one-time entry. I don't get an option to copy it. They only have option to make corrections on this anything or completely delete it. They don't give us an option to copy this. Okay. At a time, if I have to import hundreds of departments, hundreds of locations also, we'll have some import templates. We just have to fill all the data given by customer in the templates and upload. One shot max, within 2-3 minutes, hundreds of records will be loaded.
Okay. Yeah.
So we don't definitely do practically. Nobody will create it one by one. The customer has only 3 or 4 locations, we create manually. And once it is in a count of more than 10, we definitely fill a sheet and upload it. Within few seconds, it will be done.
Yes, that is what I wanted to know. Okay, thank you.
Of course, these are a part of our discussion down the line. Fine, gentlemen. So that's all for now. If anybody has any queries, I'll stay back. No problem. Anyone? Okay. So we'll have again connect back same time tomorrow, guys. Look at this complete discussion in a brief once again, and then we'll continue our country-specific succession, country-specific corporate data models discussion. Also, we'll target tomorrow to complete. Okay. That's all for now. Thank you, one and all. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, one and all.